Nastapresha Abdareshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Salakaya Chaturamaratanyana Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Mantrastam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swajarupa Ramayam Dadati Swapanantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yukamanam Sri Guru Vaisnavasya Sri Guru Sagarajata Sahagana Raghunatha Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvitum Savutam Bharijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Bharan Sahagana Nanda Sri Satam Vidusha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinamukite Coefficient Coefficient Radhakanta Namukite Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Shri Devi Ramani Hari Priye Vajrakamtu Sindhu Revacha Panchana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Jai Dana Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaurava Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Shri Krishna Krishna Namachar Vidanitai Gripu Vidani Gauratam Jai Mukam Mukam Purusham Pavunai Dini Yatri Padam Mande Sri Guru Dinataram Paramam Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from Srimad Bagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 66, chapter entitled Countercar, the false Vasudeva text for. Please repeat after me. Sa Nityam Bhagavat Dhyanam. Sa Nityam Bhagavat Dhyanam. Sa Nityam Bhagavat Dhyanam. Sa Nityam Bhagavat Dhyanam. Pravasta Kila Bandhanam. Pravasta Kila Bandhanam. Vipronascha Harirajan Vipranascha Harirajan Swarupam Tanmayo Bhavat Swarupam Tanmayo Bhavat Sanityam Bhagavad Dhyanam Pravasta Kilam Bandhanam Vipranascha Harirajan Swarupam Tanmayo Bhavet Sanityam Bhagavad Dhyanam Pravasta Kilam Bandhanam Vipranascha Harirajan Swarupam Tanmayo Bhavat Sanityam Bhagavad Dhyanam Pravasta Kila Bandhanam Vipranascha Harirajan Swarupam Tanmayo Bhavat Sanityam Bhagavad Dhyanam Pravasta Kila Bandhanam Vipranascha Harirajan Swarupam Tanmayo Bhavat. Translation and purport by the disciples of Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta from Prabhupada Gita. Translation: by constantly meditating upon the Supreme Lord, Paundraka shattered all his material bonds. Indeed, by meditating Lord Krishna's appearance, O king, he ultimately became Krishna conscious. Purport. Srila Prabhupada writes as follows in Krishna. As far as Paundraka was concerned, somehow or other, he was always thinking of Vasudeva by falsely dressing himself in that way, and therefore Paundraka achieved Sarupya, one of the 5 kinds of liberation, and was thus promoted to the Vaikuntha planet, where the devotees have the same bodily features as Vishnu, with 4 hands holding the 4 symbols. Factually, his meditation was concentrated on the Vishnu form, but because he thought himself to be Lord Vishnu, he was offensive. After being killed by Krishna, however, that offenses were all mitigated. Thus, he was given Sarupya liberation and he attained the same form as the Lord. Hare Krishna. Tamil translation for complete.
காமராஜர் எப்பொழுதும் பரமபுரத்தை பற்றி சிந்தனையில் ஆழ்ந்திருந்ததால் தனது பௌதீக பந்தங்களை எல்லாம் உடைத்தெறிந்தார். அரசே, உண்மையில் பகவான் ஸ்ரீ கிருஷ்ணரை போல் நடித்ததால் இறுதியில் அவன் கிருஷ்ண உணர்வு உள்ளவனாவான். கிருஷ்ணா புத்தகத்தில் ஸ்ரீலா பிரபுபாதா திரும்புமாறு எழுதுகிறார். பாண்டுரங்கனை பொறுத்தவரை ஏதோ ஒரு வழியில் அவன் எப்பொழுதும் வாசுதேவரை பற்றி நினைத்துக் கொண்டிருந்தான். தன்னை வாசுதேவரை போல வேடமிட்டுக் கொள்ளவும் செய்தான். எனவே அவன் 5 வகை முக்திகளுள் ஒன்றான சூப்பையா முக்தியை அடைந்தான். இவ்விதமாக 4 கைகளில் 4 சின்னங்களை பிடித்துள்ள விஷ்ணுவின் அதே தேக அம்சங்களை கொண்ட பக்தர்கள் வாழும் வைகுண்ட லோகத்திற்கு உயர்த்தப்பட்டான். உண்மையில் அவனது தியானம் விஷ்ணு ரூபத்தில் இருந்து செய்யப்பட்டது. ஆனால் தன்னை பகவான் விஷ்ணு என்று நினைத்து அவன் குற்றம் புரிந்தான். ஆனால் கிருஷ்ணரால் கொல்லப்பட்ட பின் அவனுடைய குற்றம் மன்னிக்கப்பட்டது. இவ்வாறு சூர்பியா முக்தி பெற்ற அவன் பகவானுடைய எத்தை போன்ற அதே ரூபத்தை பெற்றான்.
Hare Krishna. So this chapter is a very interesting chapter in the sense that if you go to India specifically, actually people are all around the world. You always find people that claim to be God. India, you can find a lot of God, a lot of Bhagavans. He claimed to be God, all false God. So in Krishna's time also there was many of these kind of characters, these kind of personalities, and one of them was this King Paundraka. This King Paundraka, he was a very powerful and very good fighter. He was a very good fighter, very good king, and he was very opulent, very rich. Because of his opulence and because of his name and fame, he became very puffed up. And this King Paundraka, he had one very good friend, the King of Kasi. This King of Kasi convinced this Paundraka that actually, Maharaj Paundraka, you are actually Vasudeva. This Dwarkadish is a fake one. You are the real one. Convinced him. So, just like, how children, sometimes you see, children, they pretend to be this, pretend to be that. Sometimes they pretend and they believe it. I see, children, they play, one child will become Superman, another one will become Batman. And the Superman want to fly. You climb on the table, you see, he can fly. You want to fly. So, see, children, they have excuse because they are children, they are not mature. But here, this is a grown man, somehow king, somehow. How this fellow can be so bewildered, So this is the influence of the mode of passion and ignorance. When you indulge too much in the mode of passion and ignorance, this passion and ignorance will make you into a fool, number one. So this King of Kasi, King of Kasi is seeing this the King Paundraka very puffed up. He wanted to make a fool out of him. Convinced him to say, hey, hello, actually you are Vasudeva. This Dwarkadish Krishna, he is not Vasudeva. You are the one. So you see, so this King Paundraka, he became convinced. And actually, if you look through our Srimad Bagavatam and Ramayana, you see the same thing happened to Ravana also. Same thing happened to Kamsa also. They were surrounded by people that convinced them of doing the wrong thing. Convinced them all the wrong association. They got wrong association. So the lesson to be learned here is that we have to be very careful who we associate with. Vaishnavas, especially the great sages like the 6 Goswami of Vrindavan, they are very, very careful who they associate with. Very, very careful. So much so that there was one pastime of Gaurkishore Das Babaji. He was very, very renounced. He's famous for his renunciation. So he was very careful not to associate with worldly minded people, Grihastas, married people, business people. Because of his renounced, his level of renunciation, very strangely, he will attract these kind of people only. They will chase it. And Gaurkishore Das Babaji will go to extreme lengths to shoo these people away. You don't come and disturb me. You just go away. You know. So it's very, very careful. No? So the pastimes of Murakishore Das Bhavati emphasize the principle of association. So long as you are in association of devotees, you will always be safe. Why? Because devotees will always remind you of Krishna. Devotee here, by definition, is somebody who is constantly glorifying Krishna, constantly performing activities to please Krishna. That is a devotee. If you mix with others who are non-devotees, then you're playing a very risky game, because we as Jivatma, we are known as Tatastha Shakti. Tatastha Shakti means we are the energy of the Supreme Lord that God that can decide, we can choose. We want to be spiritual or we want to be material. We can sway. I think even all of us as well. No? Sometimes when we are in the temple, we feel differently. Oh, I feel very spiritual. I feel very nice. The moment you are at home and the TV on, only that's it. That feeling disappears. All the kokama will come, all the violence, all this, your mood will change. See, even within a moment also, your mood will change. So the pastime of Gorakishore Das Babaji, he is emphasizing the fact that association, the principle of association is so powerful, especially if you are a neophyte devotee. So this, unfortunately for this king Paundraka, his very good friend is this king of Kasi, convinced him that you are Vasudeva. So being convinced that he is Vasudeva, this king Paundraka sent a messenger to Dwarka. Send a messenger to Dwarka to give a message to Krishna. So when this messenger came to Krishna in Dwarka, this is what he said. This messenger said, I am the one and only your Lord Vasudeva, and there is no other. It is I who have descended to this world to show mercy on the living beings. Therefore, give up your false name. And the messenger talking to Krishna. Oh, Satvata, give up your personal symbol, which out of foolishness you now carry, and come to me for shelter. If you do not, then you must give me better. So when this messenger read this message, King Ugrasena, all the Yadu kings were there. They all look at each other. They started laughing. They almost, I mean, they did not say here, but they laughed for a very long time. The messenger just stood there, waited. Krishna also, he's laughing. They was finding so funny. These jokers now screaming to me, Vasudeva. That time is also like that only. You know. So what to speak of Kali Yuga today? Now you go everywhere in the world, everybody wants to become God. So after hearing this, Krishna gave reply. Krishna gave the reply to this messenger. He said, you tell this to your master. You fool! I will indeed let loose the weapon you boast of in this way. When you lie dead, O fool, your face covered by vultures, herons, and water birds, you become the shelter of dogs. This was Krishna's reply. Krishna said, you are a fool, miserable, rascal fool, number one. I will come, I will give. You say you asked me to release, right? I will come and release all this symbol. The symbol that Krishna is talking about is his Sudarshan Chakra. Yes, I will release, no problem. You want, I will give, no problem. So as soon as this message was given, Krishna immediately went to the state of Kasi, because this Paundraka at that time was staying in the house, the palace of King of Kasi, his very good friend. So when King of Kasi went, Krishna is outside my city, he wants to attack me and my friend, okay, let's go and fight. So this King Paundraka, he went with his army. This king of Kasi also went with his army. So when this Paundraka appeared in front of Krishna, Krishna saw he was wearing exactly everything like Krishna. He was wearing a yellow dhoti, he was wearing blue shawl. He had a imitation customer jewel. He had peacock feather. He even had Sudarshan Chakra. Imitation one. Krishna saw this. He could not help himself. He started laughing and laughing and laughing for a long time. This Patraka became angry. He said, "What are you laughing at?" Krishna just laughed and laughed and laughed. He couldn't control himself for a long time. Krishna laughed. Yeah, I think you can imagine what he saw. There must have been some wire coming up from the shoulder with some rounding, with some jagna there, and he put his finger there. So this is chakra. Something like that. You also laugh if it is. So Krishna was laughing and laughing and laughing. So this Patraka became very insulted. Okay, you loving me all. So he started to attack Krishna with all kinds of weapons. Krishna not only countered his weapons, that the counter of Krishna not only destroyed the Pautraka's weapons, he also killed his soldiers in front of him. Killed his soldiers, killed his ministers in front of him. So when this Pautraka was just standing there, with no soldier, no army, he was there by himself, he was scared. I said, "My dear Pautraka, you wanted me to release my symbol, right? And I released now my Sudarshan Chakra." So when Sudarshan Chakra came, chopped off his head. Chopped off his head. So when this Paundraka's head was chopped off, it is explained here in this verse that Paundraka, he got liberation. You see how merciful Krishna is. So it is explained in this verse that because this Paundraka, even though he was a rascal number one, but he was meditating upon Krishna. He was trying to think, I am Krishna. Oh, Krishna is Lord. Krishna is Krishna is Krishna. He was meditating. Just like Kamsa also. When Kamsa knew that he was going to be killed by the eighth child of his sister, he was meditating upon Krishna. His sins were being purified simply by meditating about Krishna. Krishna Nama, Krishna Rupam, Krishna Leela, Krishna Guna is all the same. It's a very, very important point. Just yesterday, somebody asked me about this point. People are confused. They don't understand. That's the reason why when you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, you are in association with Krishna. It is as good as Krishna next to you. Krishna is standing next to you. Krishna is your friend. He knows everything. The moment in your mind you think, I want to do something nice for Krishna. Krishna know already. Right? He wants to do something like today. Oh, he wants to do special behold. All right, okay. So he gives you the inspiration. He gives you, I put this, that, this. So this is Krishna. So this Paundraka also, even though he was killed, he was meditating upon the Vishnu form, the four-handed, conch, what lotus flower, conch, what they call arrow and gada, the four-handed form. He was meditating upon that form. So when he died, because of Krishna's mercy, all his sins were washed away. He got liberation. He got Sarupya Mukti. Sarupya Mukti means he gets the same form as Lord Vishnu in Vaikuntha. He also would have four hands. So he got liberation. You see, so merciful. Very nice, very merciful. So after this Paundraka was killed, this king of Kasi, he saw Allah Pochida. He started to run. He wanted to run. Krishna, what he did was just took an arrow, shot him, killed him. Okay. But what Krishna did extra with this king of Kasi was, just before this king left to fight this battle, he boasted to his wife and his sons that, just wait and see, I will bring the head of Dwarkadish. I will teach all these because they were all friends of Jarasandha. Paundraka, king of Kasi, all very close friends to this enemy of Krishna, who fought with him 18 times and lost 18 times. These are all friends, the enemies of Krishna. So what Krishna did was, after he died, was he chopped off his head and threw his head into the city of Kasi. So you can imagine there's one head rolling down the street of Kasi. So all the people saw, say, oh, this one must be the head of Dorcas. Our king say already, you going to drink the head of Dorcas. But when the wife saw, looked actually, she said, Allah, it's our husband lah. So the wife started to cry. Oh, they started to cry. Oh, our husband has died, So when the wives were crying, this eldest son of King of Kasi, his name is Sudakshina. Sudakshina, he felt great vengeance, he had great anger. I must take vengeance on my father's death. So what he did was he performed severe austerity worshipping Lord Shiva. So Shiva appeared in front of him and he said, my dear child, I'm very pleased with you. Please tell me what benediction you want. So this Sudakshina said to Lord Shiva, says, please benedict me with the ability to kill this Dwarka, this Krishna. So when Lord Shiva heard, he said, this is my worshipable Lord. But what to do? He performed austerities to get this. So Lord Shiva had to tell him something. He already said, I want to benedict you, I'm very pleased with you. He cannot take back. So he said, you want to kill my Lord? I said, okay. So you want to kill my Lord? Okay. So Lord Shiva told him, says, you do this one ceremony, is on black magic. With the help of Brahmanas, you do this ritual. There will be one demon that will come, and this demon will appear, fiery demon, and this demon need help. This demon will ask my devotees to go on help, go and kill Dwarkadish Krishna. So this Sudakshina did that. He did the yajna, he did the black magic, everything, the help of Brahmanas, and came from the fire sacrifice one huge demon, very, very fierce, fiery demon. He was fire, literally he was fire. So when this demon came, he asked, my dear master, tell me what you want. He said, go and kill Dwarkadish Krishna. So this demon went. He entered the Dwarka. So when the citizens of Dwarka saw this demon, they became so frightened. They started running all over the place in Dwarka. Run here, run there, run here, run there. In the end, one of them came to Dwarkadish Krishna and said, Krishna, there's a demon terrorizing your streets. Please do something. So that time, Krishna was playing chess with his wife. Playing chess. He said, oh, this demon has come, huh? Okay, this one must be the son of Kasiraj. Okay. So he told his Sudarshan Chakra, I said, my dear Sudarshan, you go and settle this problem. That's all. Krishna just said that you go and settle this problem. So Sudarshan went. Sudarshan went there, he saw this demon is fiery, said no problem. So the Sudarshan became very, very cold. You counter fire with something cold, right? You want hot, too hot means you counter with cold. So Sudarshan Chakra became so cold that this fiery demon could not survive. This fiery demon ran away. He ran away. So when this demon ran away, this demon, you see, this is the thing about black magic. If you do black magic, if that intended purpose of that magic could not be fulfilled, that whoever it is will come back to you. So that's what happened here. This demon could not kill Krishna, could not kill Dwarkadish. He went back to this son of Kasiraj. He went back to him, and what he did, he killed him. This demon killed this Sudakshina, plus he killed the Brahmanas that brought him. So this is confirmed here in Srimad Bagavatam. So don't play with black magic. Don't think small black magic, big black magic. Black magic is black magic. Don't mess with it. The best magic you can do, is to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This mantra is beyond all black magic, white magic, blue magic, purple magic, whatever magic. This is beyond. This is transcendental. So like that, this is how the king of Kasi was killed. His son is killed, and the story doesn't end here. After Sudarshan chased away this demon, this Sudarshan went to this this what you call city of Varanasi. Went to the city of Varanasi and Sudarshan destroyed the city. He destroyed this city. And it is described here that when this king of Kasi was right, this Varanasi was very opulent, very grand, very beautiful. Even until now, if you go to Varanasi, you can see the city is a very old city and it's very grand. You can imagine now the temples, the palaces, the buildings, the olden days, how it was so grand. Sudarshan went there and he destroyed the whole city. After he destroyed, he went back to his master. You see? So, so this is the story from this chapter. So, what are the lessons to be learned here? Very important. I was asking myself, what can we learn from this? So, the first lesson here is that this Paundraka is a very good example of a very materialistic person. The downfall of this material world, materialistic people is their mood of enjoyment, their purusha bhava. They want to enjoy. But the reality is that all these living entities, they are jiva. That's one very important verse you need to know. No? Jiva Swarupa, Krishna Nityada. The original constitutional position of the jiva, the living entity, is to be an eternal servant of Krishna. At no point can the jiva be the enjoyer, like Krishna is the enjoyer. Krishna is Purushottama. He is the supreme enjoyer. Purusha is enjoyer. Uttama. Uttam, Purushottama. So a living entity at no point can be the enjoyer. God is God, He is the supreme enjoyer. The living entity is the eternal servant. So if you go to India, you will find a lots of these fake gods, and they give themselves the title Bhagavan. Bhagavan this and Bhagavan that, and Bhagavan this and Bhagavan that. The real meaning of Bhagavan is the one who possesses 6 opulences in full. Okay? The 6 opulences are all beauty, all intelligence, all riches, all strength, all faith, and all renunciation. So 6. So in this material world, you will find some people, they might be very rich, but they are not beautiful. They are not the most intelligent. They are not the most famous. And definitely they are not the most renowned. You will find some people very beautiful, but they are not the richest. They are not intelligent, like that, So, in this whole creation, not only this universe, the whole of creation, there's only one personality that has these opulences, all 6 Gani in full, and that is Bhagavad Sri Krishna. Only He has it. All of his others are expansion have a portion of that. A portion of that. This one you have to understand. So this Paundraka being very puffed up, he was having a self-image of himself that is disproportionate to reality. There was this reminds me of something Srila Prabhupada said. Once Srila Prabhupada described how delusional the living entities are in this material, especially in Gelugor. So Srila Prabhupada said that, from Krishna expanded himself as Balaram into the Chatur Vyuha. From Chatur Vyuha comes Karana Dakaishai Vishnu, Mahavishnu. From Mahavishnu's paw, his sweat, he creates unlimited number of universes. In amongst all these in all this universe, there is one universe, that is this universe, that is called the Chaturmukhi Brahma universe. The Brahma here got 4 heads. Got four heads. So in this universe, there are innumerable planets. Amongst all these planets, there is one planet Earth. And in this planet Earth, there are 7 billion people. Amongst the 7 billion people, there is one country called Malaysia. In this Malaysia, there is a state called Penang. And in this Penang state, there is a place called Gelugor. And in this Gelugor, there is one house at 368 Meko Komancha. And there's one Tua Kumar that's giving class. He thinks he's very great. He would. So this is actually very, very useful. It's actually funny, but useful at the same time. Because you have to remind yourself, sometimes we have to remind ourselves, especially when we get emotional. We have to remind ourselves, hey, wait a minute. I am a tiny speck in this whole creation, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm very great. I'm very good. I'm right. Everybody else is wrong. Oh, I have a right to be angry. We must remind ourselves, no, I'm a tiny speck. Tiny, tiny speck. I'm a servant. I'm not the master. I'm a servant. Okay. So this is one very important lesson. Then the other lesson here is that uh, yeah, the power of association. Because of bad association, this Paulrika was brainwashed by friends. And in our lives also, I don't know if you have noticed or not, but I have noticed in my life, there are some who will be very puffed up because of their association. Their friends will jack them up. Say, very good like you, fantastic like. I've never seen somebody so intelligent as you. And that person, if he believes such lies, you think, very good, very good. And these same people that praise him, they will make a fool out of him. They will praise him, and then they will, at the moment of weakness, these fellows will tell him, hey, you go do this now, you go tell the fellow this, you go tell that fellow that, you go fight with the guy. And because this guy is so puffed up, he got no intelligence, his emotion is high, intelligence is low. Being emotional, saying, you're right, I must go get the flower, whack the flower. And when these fellows go and do this nonsense thing, these fellows that go and brainwash him, they will just stand there and see the fun. And they will tepuk tangan. I don't know if you've seen this or not. I've seen this many times. Of course not. What you tell me what in this world got no ulterior motives? Everything got ulterior motives. Everybody got some intention. Somebody wants something from you. Either they do it honestly or they do it in a crooked way. The crooked way is this one. They come and jack you. They come and jack you. One way like you fantastic like you. Oh, I've never seen like this. I myself, I've been influenced a few times. Somebody will come and praise me, and suddenly I don't know why I feel very good devotee. Then after that, a while I say, hey, wait a minute, why this fellow saying me that? I think if you want to genuinely, you want something from him. True enough, the fellow, Prabhu, can ask for help. Now I know. Why are you jacking me up? Jacking me because you want to soften me up because you want to ask me for help. What tell? So yeah, association. If you associate with those who are wicked-minded like this, they will prey on your weaknesses. The reason, the way you can tell between having good friends and bad friends is your good friends will only look out for your best interests. Your bad friends will prey on your weaknesses. They will go after your weaknesses. They will use you. And by time you will know, eventually you will know, this friend, this is not a friend, this will use me. When you want something from me, you will say, oh, Prabhu, you're the greatest devotee, Prabhu. But when they don't want from you, you won't hear, not even a fart from them. So you won't hear anything. So these are not called friends. In my lifetime, I had to make a tough decision. I had friends, I had lots of friends. But these friends were not actually friends. Why? Because when I wanted to share with them this Krishna consciousness, they were extremely critical. They criticized me through. I tried my level best to try to convince them, But no, they were so envious of me. I was wondering, what did I do wrong? I came across this Krishna consciousness. I find it fascinating. I want to share this with you, but you are criticizing me like, I committed murder or something, So I came across a point in my life. I had to make a decision. I want to can tell you, if you're a teenager, you're a young person, and single, uh, not much family. I have nobody. I got no family, nothing. My friends I eat. I had to make that decision to let them go. It's the toughest thing people ever do in life. But at the same time, it was the best thing I ever did in my life. Because by letting go of such unnecessary association, I let go, suddenly there was peace in my mind. I had space in my heart for Krishna. Because if you were to, engage yourself in reading spiritual literature, you must have a certain frame of mind. You cannot be disturbed and it will not work. That is one thing. Number two, I also discovered at the same time that when you let rubbish go, you make space in your heart for the good association. From good association, but if you make the space, Krishna will send you the right kind of devotee to encourage you in the spiritual life. I'm very, very fortunate because these devotees, they are very hard to come by. They are preaching devotees. They are really nice devotees. It's very, very important point. That is one thing, the power of association. and and by this association, what happens is you will get closer and closer to Krishna. This closeness to Krishna is a very, very rare thing. Very, very rare. Srila Prabhupada explains in Bhagavad Gita that someone who makes advancement in Krishna consciousness, uh, this, this advancement in Krishna consciousness is a permanent asset. It is not a temporary asset. If you go and get a job, you get a salary, your salary is temporary. Most probably for most of us, whatever salary we get within the month, everything we spend, right? Nothing stays with you. Nothing material stays with you. But Krishna says this is not material. This is totally spiritual. Whatever advancement you make in spirituality, it is a permanent asset. Let's say in this lifetime you advance in Krishna consciousness. Let's say maybe 30%, okay, and your life ends. Your next life, you are guaranteed because of this Krishna consciousness. You are guaranteed to get minimum a human form of life. Why? Because this Krishna consciousness, being a permanent asset, it needs to continue. So for it to continue, you cannot continue in a form of a dog or a cat or a tree or a bird. Can actually, very rare cases, but Krishna says here in Bhagavad Gita that you are guaranteed minimum a human form of life. And from that human form of life, you will continue back where you left off your last life. Last life was 30%. Huh? This life is 31%. You see, so this is a very, very important point. Krishna comes into your life. There's so many great benefits of having Krishna in your life. When you are in difficulty, when you are in danger, Krishna will come and help you. I do not know about you, but I have experienced this many, many times. I mean, real danger, not like no, that is not danger. That is nothing. Danger meaning like you have health problems, really a real danger, or you are in danger of being hurt by somebody. You're in danger. When that danger comes, our instinct, because we already have a relationship with Krishna, our instinct is, Krishna, please help me. And Krishna comes and helps. I've seen this happen many times in my own life. Where is it? Yes, Krishna will come and help. Krishna helps. People don't realize this. They think Krishna is a mythical, very nice story. No, no, no. He is a real person. He definitely will come. If you really genuinely need help, he will come. Not only in danger. For me, it was not danger. Was not really the main thing. For me, it was everything related to Krishna. I give you a good example. Once I was in my temple. This was the very early days. I know about Krishna consciousness and all that, but I didn't take it very seriously. But in the early days, once I went to one temple, and at this temple they were playing one bhajan. one bhajan, through the PA system. The bhajan was so nice. I was planning to come there, just sit there for 10 minutes and then go. But the bhajan was so nice. I just sat there for almost an hour. I was listening to the bhajan, listening to the bhajan, listening to the bhajan. So I asked the temple president that time there, who is this person singing this song? Then he said, oh, this is Aither Das. This is Aither Das. He is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. So in my mind, I was thinking, oh, this one must be my Indian guy, some Indian person. He is so nice. I was so captivated. So I asked him, Prabhuji, can I please request from you? Can I get a copy of this song? The temple president said, oh, can, no problem, can. So from that day onwards, every day I came. Can I get? Oh yeah, I forgot. Tomorrow come. I forgot. Tomorrow come. Oh yeah, I forgot. Like this, he went for 3 months. Tomorrow come. Tomorrow come. Tomorrow come. Tomorrow come. I have never yearned in my heart for anything as I yearn for this. I do not know why. Until today, I do not know why. I never wanted anything in my life more than this. I was so determined. Every day I came. Sometime I came, he was not there. He went somewhere else. I don't know where he was. And every day I wanted that so badly. In the end, I never got it from him. I never got. But in my heart, the desire was there, so strong. I must have that. But that is so nice. Why not? Because the first time I heard Aindradas Bhajan, I was thinking in my mind, no, this is how Kirtan is in Goloka Vrindavana. That's what thought came to my mind. So for months, it went on like this, when can I get? When can I get? I'm telling you, if you yearn something as much as I did, this would happen. One day I went to another temple. I attended Mangalarti. After Mangalarti, there was one devotee there. Uh, he sometimes comes, sometimes don't come. So that is, don't know for what reason he came for Mangalarti. He came there, and after Mangalarti, he went to the temple president. He said, Prabhuji, I just came back from India. I went to Vrindavan, I went to Manipur, I went to Dwarka, like that. So there I heard this one Bhajan Prabhu. Oh, nice Prabhu. I bought the CD. So he took the CD, gave to the temple president. That time, Mangalarti time, we don't want light, so cannot see what is nothing. So temple president at that time is doing pujari job. So he got no time for all this. So he saw me, he said, Prabhu, now you take care of it. He put the CD in my hand, Prabhu. That time, so I can't see CD. Okay. I don't know what CD, what is it. So I went back. I took it home. I went to work. Do work, everything. After every day I came home. Monday, everything, sit down, watch TV, like that. Then I got CD in my bag. The president gave the CD. So I went, I opened, I saw prayers to the dust of branch. No name there, nothing, no under that, nothing. Prayers to the I just put the CD inside. Prabhu, that song I heard, same song playing, Prabhu.
How Krishna came.
Oh, that night I'm telling you, I did not sleep. That CD just playing and playing and playing. I was so happy. Just listening. Then after heard a few times, then I remembered, Aindradas. Das. This is the one. Oh, it's fantastic. From that day onwards, I went to temple. I gave all lah. Oh, fantastic Kirtan Prabhu. I want fantastic Kirtan. I said, Aindradas. That's the branch. So I went to temple. I was chanting Aindradas name. So there was another devotee there. He saying, Prabhu, this Aindradas got many albums, Prabhu. Which one you have? Albums of I want to tell you what praise to the dust of Braj. I said, Prabhu, there's so many more. Prabhu, there's Raja Vilas, there's what you call Raja Vilas, there's Raja Vilas. So many albums. This album, this Chintamani Nam, Bhajan is our our kirtan, Ozira. Then he said, I'm going next month to India. Uh, you want me? I can buy the Prabhu, please, Prabhu. I pay you money now, Prabhu. This Prabhu went to India, came back. I had a set. Ranjan Vilas, a praise to the dust of Braj, Vrindavan Meadows. Very nice album. Prabhu, from that day, this was like 20 years ago. 20 years ago, this one. Until today, every day I've been playing his music. Every day I've been listening to his kirtan. Why no? Because you listen to his kirtan, Prabhu, you are in Vrindavan. He captured the mood of Vrindavan in his kirtan. I did not know this. I've been listening for 20 years. I met one Malaysian devotee in Vrindavan from Johor. He was there to study how to play Mandanga, how to play harmonium, all that. So that devotee was telling me, Prabhu, Aingal Das, he captured Vrindavan and put it in sound form. He was glorified. I said, Rama, Rama. Yes. Prabhu was he was explaining like this. And like this kind of incidents happen one after another, one after another, one after another, one after another. After that, after a certain point, you cannot deny it. You cannot say, Krishna, is he true or not? Not sure. There's a certain point you come, Krishna is there. He's in my heart. He knows what kind of Kokamaka devotee I am. Yet he's showing me so much mercy. Then all I can see is this is the mercy of his devotee. Because his devotee showered mercy upon me, Krishna is showing mercy upon me. So this is what I understand when I read this chapter. This is very nice. You go into it, it is very, very sweet. And then of course the section about black magic is to emphasize the fact that don't mess around with anything material. This black magic is material. All the ceremonies, karma kanda in the Vedas, they are material ceremonies. Don't indulge in them too much. Why? Because material is temporary. Whatever you get from it is temporary. That effort and that energy that you invest in performing such rituals to get temporary results, if you take the same energy, the same effort, you want to engage them in serving the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna or his pure devotee, the benefit is limitless, it is eternal. Why waste your time for temporary things when you can get the best of all? That is the lesson. So this pastime of this Paundraka is actually very, very instructive for all of us, because this Paundraka is a representative of most materialistic person out there. No intelligence, I heard once from a class on Chanikya Pandit. Chanikya Pandit, he gives very good advice, to that. So there's one advice he gave there. I can't remember the full advice, but the part of that advice is what now? Part of the advice is, this is translated to English. He says there that there's one thing more dangerous than being stupid yourself. There's one thing more dangerous than being stupid. What is that? The most dangerous thing is to be in association of people who are stupid. Why? If you are stupid, you make mistake, you take the reward. But if you are in association of people who are stupid, what happens is they will do something, you will get the punishment for no reason. For the reason of just being in the wrong place at the wrong time, this fellow will do something stupid and you will get the punishment. So the lesson there is, be very, very careful who you associate with, who you keep as friends, who do you spend your time with. Very, very important lesson. I learned this the hard way, and I have seen again and again young boys especially. They all have their school friends, all bunch of idiots. Every one of them. I am thinking in my mind, this was a nice boy. But his friends are all Kokamakan boy. His friends are going to get him into trouble.
I do nothing. I do never do anything.
See?
I was stand there.
Yes.
I can go.
Yeah. That's how it always happens, bro.
So all is not telling
But they are also very fortunate in the sense that if they don't come here, they won't meet you.
yeah.
At least they have an association of devotees. So this is, I think, all I can say about this chapter. So thank you very much, Hare Krishna. Any questions? Any Gelugor? Any comments? This one actually is the mercy of Bhakti Charu Swami. He gave class on this chapter. Very nice class, Prabhu. He go to detail